Good morning, travelers, and welcome back to Universal Orlando. We're here for just a few quick updates. They did extend the Universal store here at the front with Butterbeer and Nintendo. They have started construction on the new 50th Jaws celebration, and then also we got our first round of Horror Nights merch, and we got the logo for this year, so that's super exciting. So we're going to be heading right over to the store to check out that extension. So as soon as you walk past security through the moving escalators, we do have a brand new store entrance over here for the Super Nintendo World store. This is just an extension of the normal store. We'll see that as soon as we get inside, but it does have all of the Super Nintendo World merch. That's going to excite a lot of people. So as soon as we walk in, we obviously see the big sign that says Super Nintendo World. And all the merch for Super Nintendo World here is obviously going to have Universal Orlando Resort that's specifically for the land. Otherwise, it is your generic Super Nintendo World merch. Some of this you will find over at Epic Universe. Some of this is the first time I'm seeing it, so it doesn't mean it won't end up over there. But I would say that is something that will be probably more exclusive over here to the main store. And obviously they're going to have Donkey Kong stuff. They do have a wide variety of Yoshi stuff, and that's cool to see. I would love for us to get Yoshi at some point. I know it's part of the Fan Fest nights over in Hollywood right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if they get it as a permanent character here soon, and then we get it shortly after. You can see a bunch of Mario Kart stuff. They do have the trophy that I think is interesting from the ride. I didn't even know they sold that. Again, stuff for both the land and generic Nintendo stuff. I do love this line of merch. They debuted at Islands of Adventure not too long ago. I think it's in the Nintendo Superstar store, but I'm honestly not sure. I just like the more minimalistic look of it. With a few different ones. They also do have pins of them. And then over here on this side of the store, they do have kind of like a candy section. Doesn't seem to be themed to specifically Super Nintendo World. It actually looks like this whole area right here goes off into just Universal merch. As you can see with the counter there, specifically that area over here, all around this corner here with all the theming, is just Nintendo. Our next area that's new for the store, we're going to walk right through, and it's part of the extension. They have added a Butterbeer stand outside the parks. So with a bunch of new Butterbeer merch that they have released in this store, I do think some of it's pretty nice looking. You can see with the tote bag, the flannel, some pin sets. And obviously you're gonna have other Potter stuff like chocolate frogs and stuff. But the big thing is they did add a new Butterbeer stand out here in City Walk. So this is the first time that Universal's actually built a Butterbeer stand that's not inside of a park. So this is the first time anybody that isn't visiting a park can visit Butterbeer and get it. So if you're here at City Walk for the night, or even if you aren't a pass holder and you really want to try Butterbeer, you can now because it's not exclusive to the parks anymore. You just come right over here in the main Universal store. I'll show you right now how it kind of connects. So if you come right through here, this is where the old Potter section of the store was. So this is, again, just the normal Potter section. And then we come out into the main spot of the store, just like before. So you can see it kind of just connects back there through the Potter section. You will have to walk through the Potter section to get back to the Nintendo section if you want to walk through the store. Just wanted to mention over here by the checkout counters, they do have a 50th Jaws merch location here. It is the 50th anniversary. We'll be going to check out that construction here in just a moment. But they do have a lot of merch for it. Next up, we're going to be heading into Universal Studios and right over to the right towards the Five and Dime. The Horror Nights merch is both here at the Five and Dime, but also over at the permanent Halloween store over in Islands of Adventure that's at the end of Lost Continent. As we walk in, you can see our first look at the logo for this year. They are going back to the Never Go Alone slogan for this year. You can see it kind of being almost an overgrown chapel kind of look to the logo and the whole thing there. And then when we walk in, we do see they have a little display for the merch. So they have a hat with, again, the logo, but with a crow on top. Same logos on the shot glass here and the candle. Then they do have a shirt already for this year. It's Halloween Horror Nights 2025. We do come to the back of the shirt. We'll be honest, I don't love the back of the shirt. I don't think it looks great. Sometimes the first group of Halloween Horror Nights merch is not my favorite. So I would hold off and hopefully they get some better merch out here soon when they start announcing houses. I do suspect will be happening sometime this month or next month, one of the two. So there's a lot of speculation, obviously, for this year's Halloween Horror Nights. Speculation's gone full into swing. I don't love to talk about it here on the channel, just because a lot of times it can be wrong or be way off. So we'll kind of wait, see what happens with it. I do suspect, again, that they're going to announce a house here within the next month or two, and then they'll start announcing more houses. Did want to mention the Universal team member and pass holder store is still open over here in Studios in that old Tribute Store location here in Hollywood. It is a discounted store exclusive to pass holders and team members, so if you're either of that, come check that out. You can find some good deals in there and some merch. And finally, over here in the San Francisco side of the park, right where the Horror Nights zone usually is, we do have a 50th Jaws celebration ramping up. It's not quite ready yet. The snack booths are not quite open. You can't see the Amity Island sign. It's obviously got the 4th of July sign right up there. Need a lot of props. Go ahead and walk back here. They are going to have 2 food booths, but again, they're not quite open. Do not know if we know an opening date, but I would say he's cooking up. And over here at the bar right here, they do have Jaws themed drinks. I believe they've always had Jaws themed drinks though. Obviously back here, you have the shark hanging. That's always been here. And we do have one more photo op right over here. Right at the very end of the path, they actually do have a photo op that makes you look like one of the drivers to the old boats that used to be the ride. So I'd be very interested to see if this was actually just salvaged off the front of one of the boats, because it looks identical. It's got all the buttons that a worker would need and the levers. It's very interesting. But yes, you can get a photo op and act like the ride is still here. It does have a few like fake Universal Florida things, so you get that in your photo. So inside the candy company here in San Francisco, they do look like they have some props from the movie. And then they also do have that merch we talked about earlier inside the shop. It does seem like more of the merch you can find up at that front store, but there is some Jaws merch back here with some little Jaws plushes and a little like fun overtake in the middle here. So like the whole candy company has kind of been changed into a pseudo Jaws theme, but I do kind of like that they did that. Just look at the second food booth right over here. So they do have lighting towers up right over here. That, again, this is usually a scare zone for Horror Nights. I wouldn't be surprised if all these trusts just stay up over the summer after they're done with the Jaws one and straight into Horror Nights. They do have some sort of like little stage here. I'm not positive this is left over from Grad Bash or if this is something going to be used in the Jaws theming area. But it's a cool little area. I'm sure it's going to be some good food, some themed food, and then it's also just a fun area to take some photos if you're a big fan of Jaws. So there's a quick little update here from Universal Orlando. Mainly stuff to do with studios. Again, you can find that Horror Nights merch over at the permanent All Hallows Eve at Islands of Adventure 2. So Horror Nights, obviously I'm a big fan of Horror Nights, so I will be following the construction as soon as it starts going up, and I will be keeping you guys up to date when houses get announced. So stay tuned for all that good stuff. I love the extension to the main store that's been closed for a while, that whole area, so I'm glad to see it finally open. I think the Nintendo merch in there is quite good. And then I'm very interested to see what the Jaws 50th anniversary celebration will end up being. We will obviously be back when it does open to check out the food and check out the whole area kind of come to life. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. I hope this video brought a little bit more joy into your day, and we'll see you guys next time.